I recently came across a LinkedIn post from an accountant who was using direct mail to get some great results. Now, she was sending out a one-page letter, 2 sides of A4, nicely designed, and very good at picking out the pain points of potential new clients. Standard marketing of identify the pain, agitate the pain, present the solution. Copy was pretty good. Call to actions were good. Good highlighting of benefits versus features. Basically, it was some pretty good marketing. It wasn't perfect, but that's my point. Is it doesn't need to be perfect. It was pretty good, and she was sending this out to prospects that she's identified, and she was doing it religiously. This is what I really love: is she was doing it consistently. I can't remember the exact numbers, but I believe she was sending 50 of these pieces every week. And it was just every single week, 50 of these bits of lumpy mail go out. I forgot to tell you it was lumpy, didn't I? Yes, she puts, I think, a little bag of sweets in there or something. Triggers the reciprocity effect. Very, very powerful. And it just creates that whole, ooh, what's this? When someone opens it. So 50 pieces going out every week. Conversion rate, not great, but about 1%. That is pretty standard for direct mail to a fairly targeted audience with some fairly good marketing. And being an accountant, she shared the numbers, and this was what really, really piqued my interest. So it costs her, I think she said, 91 pence to send each of these letters out. She gets a 1% conversion. Therefore, her customer acquisition cost is £91. Now, her annual spend from a brand new accountancy client is £5,000. So the marketer in me goes, well, that's amazing. That's what a great return on investment. Not only, however, am I looking at the 5K annual spend, but I'm considering lifetime value here. And I'm thinking, oh, how long do people stay with an accountant? Granted, there will be some people who maybe just do a year, and you're not the firm for me. Others will stay forever, but let's be conservative and say it's 4 years. The average tenancy of an accountancy client, that's £20,000. You're buying clients for £91, and they're worth £20,000. That is fantastic. Now, in my forthcoming book, which I am currently writing at the moment, so it's not coming out until 2025, my next book, Retention First, I make the case that lifetime value is the most important number in your business. And I share a formula relating to the two numbers I've just talked about, lifetime value and customer acquisition cost. Now, there's kind of industry standards, and it will depend on your sector, but as a general rule of thumb, a lot of people say your customer acquisition cost should be no more than 1/3 of your lifetime value. So you should make from the lifetime value of a client 3 times what it costs you to acquire that customer. I call BS on that, mainly because I really, really like to focus on long-term relationships, lifetime value. I want my lifetime value to be at least 10 times customer acquisition cost. Now, if you look at this lady here, she's already smashing that out the park, because with a £91 acquisition cost, she's already making significant amounts more than that. I can't do maths on the fly. 91 to 5,000, yes, 50 times. There we go, pretty much. Ballpark maths. So she's got a fantastic ROI. But someone said in the comments, why are you putting a second-class stamp on those letters? You'd get a better conversion rate. She went, oh, hang on a minute. That's going to cost me £1.50 to send it first class, or £1.40 or whatever. That's going to skyrocket my costs. And the guy went, well, that's going to take your lifetime value, your customer acquisition cost to 140, 150 quid. If your conversion rate is unaffected, which it won't be, because some people will just see that you don't value them because you put a second-class stamp on the front. But if your conversion is unaffected and your lifetime value is unaffected because your clients think, well, they didn't really value me enough to put a first-class stamp on it, then your customer acquisition cost is still 140 quid and your lifetime value is £20,000. And this, dear listener, is my little lesson for you today. There are two ways that you can impact that formula, lifetime value greater than customer acquisition cost. One is to do what this lady did and drive down your customer acquisition cost by putting second-class stamp on it, by choosing cheaper marketing sources, by just being a bit of a cheapskate and a bit of a skinflint. And the other is by ramping up your lifetime value, by serving your clients better, by looking after them for longer, by retaining them for longer and keeping them happier for longer. The more lifetime value you've got, the more budget you've got to spend on acquiring customers.